to Lionheart Dreamweaving. My name is Matthew, and today I have for you a shamanic stories style card reading where we are delving into the stories, the narratives, which are shaping our underlying experience of reality and in part shape the creation of our experience of reality. And yeah, so this message here today is channeled for the zodiac sign of Cancer. However, my belief in astrology is that we all have these archetypes within us. So this message can be for anybody who resonates with it. So regardless of which planets you have where in your chart. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and dive straight into the card interpretation here for you. So first we have, to kind of set the context and the stage, we have this an overall energy here from the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, and you have love. Just love. So this is going to be a bit of a deeper kind of existential type of reading here, because this love card talks about the nature of reality, the nature of love, and our reasons for being, our reasons for existing as these forms of consciousness which we are, and why are we experiencing what we're experiencing. And so it talks that the message is that there's so many variety of forms of expression of love in this life, in this planet. It's all the ranging from unconditional, universal, expansive love to very conditional, like contracted types of love, like very transactional. There's toxic types of love. There's platonic love, which you have with your friends, and then there's like the sexual, passionate kind of love. There's love you have for your children. It's a whole different type of love. For animals, for nature, for your hobbies, for your passions. There's so many different forms that love can manifest in, and we are all, I think, naturally, we're all seeking this. We're all seeking deeper, greater, more variety, more abundance of experience of love. It's what a vital force of this universe. It's life-giving. Literally, there's been scientific experiments, very cruel, unfortunately, very cruel scientific experiments where they've tried to raise baby animals or baby humans even without any form of love, just giving them the pure survival necessities, feeding them, all of this stuff, but not actually giving them loving attention. And they suffer, they die, literally die from lack of love. It's absolutely vital that we have this in our we have so it's one of our core human needs, of course. Okay, so but there's an interesting thing which has happened. It's funny, we even with tarot readings, what's the most common type of tarot reading? What are people most searching for when they're looking for tarot readings? They want love readings. That's just, it just is it's what everyone's looking for. But so there's this strange thing that's happened, especially in the past 100, 150 or so years, with this philosophical concept of romanticism, which has greatly restricted our concept and our belief and of how love should be. Like we put it into these like very tightly defined box of how do we want our experience of love to be. And I'm seeing this in your reading here. Like it's coming right conjunct to this love card is the dream, which for me is representing this whole concept, this whole vision of like romanticism and the romantic ideal. And when you really get into like the history of romanticism, it's quite an interesting history because it's you before this era, like marriage and like long-term partnership had nothing to do with love, like not directly anyway. Like it wasn't really a consideration in the factor. Like marriage was about survival and practical necessities, like collaborations for providing for the day-to-day needs and like financial things and this kind of arrangements. And political like things for example like social dynamics, political dynamics, for example, like uniting kingdoms together for to create like larger kingdoms or like peacetime or this type of thing. But and people had other sources, um other ways that they were getting their love needs met and their sexual needs met, you know, like they wouldn't necessarily be meeting those within the dynamics of their um, marriage partner. But then this like idea of the romantic era, this came along, um, and it sort of like merged all of these things into one person. And we also got at that same time the concept of the soulmate, which you know, I do believe that I do believe in soulmates and that there are certain people who we have just a much deeper, much more profound spiritual connection with. They resonate with us on a soul level, right? And we meet these people, we come together with these people across many lifetimes of experience and have um, continued interactions, and they grow deeper and more profound the more that we do that. So but there's like a bit of a certain kind of concept has gotten wrapped up, especially it's kind of evolved over time, and now we have in this modern age this idea, this belief that our romantic partner, our marriage partner, is supposed to provide everything, provide all of our love needs. You know, they're supposed to be like like your friends and your family and your sexual partner and the parent of your children and your counselor, your therapist, like all of the, you know, it's like it's way too much. It's very unrealistic actually expectation. It's too much demands put on to one single relationship. You can have someone who is, you know, feeling to be the most significantly bonded partner experience, and you are, you know, you bonded and going on your life direction together, but um, you don't necessarily have to be completely dependent on them to meet all of your needs, which you know realistically would be more met by um, a network of people. What, you know what I mean? So I really went into a lot of depth there, just explaining like the concepts of the overall energy here. But to start here at the top of your reading, I tend to go chronological order with these actually. So here at the beginning, you have the creator, new vision, and participation. So with these, I'm sensing this idea. Now, this may or may not be yet conscious for you, but what's happening like is you're at a phase, you're at a moment of a certain kind of malleability, like a turning point, or like there's in your timeline, in your experience, your creation of reality, there's some flexibility here, and the universe is inviting you to go deeper into participating, of creating creating your life consciously co-creating your manifest experience with the universe. Okay, so this is like not any longer being just victim of circumstance and such like this, but that you have more influence and creation power over your life experience. So this is something that's common topic of discussion in New Age spirituality. So you're probably already decently familiar with this concept of like law of attraction, manifestation. You create your own reality, blah, 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 all these things. And but so I have a little bit of a different spin on it, I would say, because I think it's a little bit more so than just, there's a little bit more to it, a little bit more subtleties than you just like write a wish list to the universe and like universe delivers it like Santa Claus on your lap, you know. Like I think there is something, of course, powerful about like intention setting and like visions and vision boarding or like scripting or like whatever these different techniques there are. You know, but sometimes they don't like work for people or not work like fully. And so I think the reason for this, like, and so like what I'm suggesting or inviting you here to understand is like, what's going on actually, like how does this reality creation process like actually work? And I think it has a lot to do with our beliefs and narratives that we're telling ourselves about what is actually possible. So this is why these kind of things do sometimes like seemingly work miracles for people, like scripting or like intention setting, because they do the thing that actually does successfully shift their perspective or their subconscious beliefs about something, which were causing a blockage of creating that experience that would be desirable for them. So I think it's more so about the narratives and the belief that you have about your life and about reality and about how this world works and all those things. So, because that kind of, and it's happening on a subconscious level, so that's the tricky thing. So that's like you can like think something maybe like all you want on a conscious level, but if you have some deeply ingrained subconscious belief that's contradictory to that, it's not gonna work out. It's not gonna manifest like perfectly beautifully the way you would hope it would, right? No matter how much you do the tricks or whatever of New Age stuff. So this is what I was saying. Like, so this kind of loops all together now back to the concept of like the Romanticism and the Romantic era beliefs about what is love supposed to be here. So I think this is like this is inviting you, an invitation from the universe to sort of reimagine, to really deeply ponder and deconstruct and dream a new dream for yourself. Dream a new dream here about what is the nature of love, right? Because like with this card here, this love oracle card, it's like it's really something which it can shape you, it can create beautiful things, or it can absolutely break you and destroy you and create a huge amount of suffering in your life. And that's not then it's not because the universe hates you or something, or you've done something like it's not like a punishment, but it's like it's like the stories and the feelings and the things that you cling on to about the love, the kind of programming that you get into, the belief system you get into about love. So we all have some experiences where we have been hurt by love, or seemingly love, like, and find like toxic situations or relationships, or conditional love, or all these heartbreaking kind of things that happen to people. Like, most all of us suffer these things. Abusive relationships, all sorts of stuff can happen. And I'm not trying to, like, make light of any of your suffering, because that stuff is real. Like, trauma uh, has deep impacts in the body, and there's like proper healing process that needs to happen there to be able to release those things. But so also, though, it's like knowing that, just having that sort of conscious awareness that you are actually able to shift those things. You're not just like a victim to that forever, right? Um, and sorry, I'm getting lost in the imagery here. Hold on, I'll point that out in a second. Let me try to finish the thought I had. So it's like the degree to which you're able to process those difficult emotions and bring a higher dimension of love, a higher frequency of love into those experiences, and have compassion and a universal love for yourself, for the people who have hurt you, even like to have forgiveness for them, because that, like, now that's not the same as allowing those kind of behaviors to continue or to ever repeat in your life, but they're like having a like certain amount of forgiveness and compassion for the part of you, the time in your life when you just didn't know any better, and then you learned and experienced the hard way, the painful way. And of course it's wrong, like that some of the things that people do, and they shouldn't be repeated, but at the same time, like, clinging on to the negative emotions of that, the bitterness, the resentfulness, like all of those things. So this is what I'm seeing here. There's like two paths that the energy can go here, and where either like you go towards the direction of healing and release, and it ends up liberating your heart, and you healing your heart. And healing itself is this is a whole different topic, but it can be a very intense process, like almost painful in a way process, but it's also very beautiful. And then and none of those things, when you're really genuinely healing, you start to shed the density of it, even no matter how, like, what depths of horrific things, traumatic things you've suffered through. Like, you still have the ability to shed those things so that you're not carrying them with you and continuing to like create those type of things. Whereas if you keep yourself armored and you try to like to resist that, and it's like carrying so much of that negative, that density with you, and like, it's not an easy process. These things kind of get lodged, they get locked deeper into your body. So maybe you need some type of therapy process or something like this to, if you've been like severely hurt, like it can be like that. But the point is that you always have, even if you do need help and support through the process, like, you always do have the power within yourself to liberate a higher frequency of love and and radically change your potential future here, and allow in a much more beautiful life experience, and manifesting much more beautiful, higher, like much more unconditionally loving connections and relationships. But that's not going to yeah, it can be like quite a process here, this traveling. Like, it's a journey, right? Like, it can be a long journey potentially, to go through, like, the whole, depending how much you have healing you have to do. Okay, but like, Yeah. It's like oh no, I lost the train of thought. But I wanted to point out here that this actually I'm seeing this figure here in this dream is actually quite like the same looking person as this angel of love here. And so I think there's a message there about what is like really like possible. What there is this potential. So I don't mean to just like shit on your dreams or whatever about like having this perfect, most beautiful type of love, this divine soulmate, whatever, these type of things that people are desiring. Like that's natural, that's beautiful, like, and it's very actually possible, but it's not possible when we are trapped with all these programmings, these like things which are like these romantic era notions. I think actually are kind of hindering it. They're not. Um, they're almost more based in trauma. Like if you look at romanticism, like a lot of it is like really like Romeo and Juliet. Like that's not actually a very beautiful story. Like they've just they're in agony and then they kill themselves at the end of it. Like right um because they're just so like spun out over this like super intense uh, belief about the love, and they're almost in a delusional state over it. And if they had just if they had a little bit of more grounded and realistic understanding of the nature of love, that they would be able to like if she would have just waited, would have been a little bit more patient with the whole thing and wouldn't have killed herself, and then like okay anyway, then they could have actually had that experience to manifest, right? But it's like as long as you're operating from this old vision, it's going to keep subconsciously manifesting in indirect ways that repeated experience of trauma, in a way, because this person, they're almost like they're expecting it to happen. That's why they're keeping the armor on. So yeah. So then you have here at the end this experiencing card. So this is again going back to this idea of first of all, there's two things going on. So letting go of the armor. This person, they're in the experiencing, they're vulnerable. Like they're to be deeply, fully in the sensory experience, they have to be vulnerable. They have to really feel deeply. So this is the opposite of numbing yourself out. So they're feeling things with extreme sensitivity, and that can also like allow pain in. So this is why we have these like defense mechanisms against allowing this. But then at the same time, you're blocking out all of these other forms of love in the universe, and then you're feeling starved and lacked of love because you're not getting your one specific perfect idea of what the romantic relationship thing should be. And maybe that will come, or like likely will come at some point, like once you've like shed all of these things that are blocking it, it'll be more possible. And then in the meantime, though, you can feel much more nourished and allow in a much more multitude sources of love and have your needs met also in the meantime. And it doesn't have to like look exactly like this specific like belief, this specific concept, this like really in a boxed notion of what love is, and nothing else is good at the same level of love as like this specific romantic ideal. So this is the person who they're letting in they're connecting with nature. She's like feeling the love from this tree, right? Like it's there's so much love all around us from so many different sources, and we're just not really like open to receiving it. And then we feel this lack of love, and we suffer of that. And I think that, yeah, universe is inviting you to reimagine, to have just, yeah, shift your beliefs a little bit, play with it like a little bit looser concept of love, and allow it to come in many more different forms, and that you are able to like participate with life in that way. Okay, so I think that that's all the messages I'm getting for your reading here. So thank you very much for listening, and I would really love to hear your comments, read your comments about how did this resonate for you? What did it mean for you, or what are you experiencing right now in your life? And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Okay, and like the video if you liked it, because that really helps my channel to grow. And yeah, I will catch you next time, and bye.